Welcome, everybody, to the lead up. My name is Rafael Romero, and the purpose of this space is to have conversations with entrepreneurs and business people about the skills, the tools, the experiences that led to their success. Our guest today is Evelyn Jones. She's an entrepreneur. She earlier in her career, she launched her own marketing firm. And then she moved on to serve as the senior marketing officer for Red River Bank, and she's currently serving as the business consultant for the Small Business Development Center of Alexandria in partnership with LSU of Alexandria. So I hope you enjoy this episode. I know that her background in the private sector will shine, and you will have a lot to learn from her. So with that, enjoy it. Evelyn, welcome to the lead up. I'm excited that you're here today. One of the main reasons why I wanted to speak with you is because many of our viewers are entrepreneurs and small business owners who just want to grow. And as the business consultant for the Small Business Development Center, the SBDC of Alexandria, I know you just have a plethora of valuable information to share with this community. So with that, why don't you help us define what the Small Business Development Center is?
Great. Well, I'm excited to be here. There's so much information to share. It really is amazing the tools that are available for entrepreneurs these days. I mean, there's so many things going on in this community, in particular, with the Launchpad and just different things that the city's doing. But the SBDC is a program of the SBA. So our mission is to really carry out their goals, and the SBA wants businesses to start and to succeed. So our goal is to provide no cost consulting. We have training programs, and I'll get into that a little bit, but just a plethora of tools for entrepreneurs just at their fingertips, no charge. The SBA just wants businesses to flourish all across the country. So small business development centers are located all over the country. There are, I believe, 7 centers in the state of Louisiana. And so we have a network to rely on each other for all kinds of resources. I mean, everything from HR issues to marketing to, industry trend research. There's just, if people will go to our website, louisianasbdc.org, it's overwhelming to see the services that we provide. So the SBA, is our main focus, and we also work with Louisiana Economic Development, and then with local universities. We're with LSUA. All centers really across the country partner with the university, and that just means they're a host. So, but the SBDCs, the centers, just function on their own, basically.
That's fascinating. And so if I am an interested party and I want to approach the SBDC, how does that happen? Do I have to register somewhere? Do I have to go to the website? Do I have to pay a membership fee? How do we begin that relationship?
It is so easy. No, there's no membership. There's no charge for anything that the small business development centers do, which is just amazing. You get access to high quality consulting, like I said, on a lot of different topics. But no, you can call the office, call the center, you can go online. Anybody that will Google how to start a business, more than likely Small Business Development Center is going to pop up. And so there's the umbrella of the America SBDC, and then each state has their own. So we're LSBDC. So if you Google how to start a business, we're going to pop up. And if you just small business, I mean, we get a lot of traction from our website. So literally, you just find our website. There's an easy, efficient way to log in. You just request consultation that it is routed to the right consultant in the right geographic area. So you really don't have to do anything. There's like a quick little form online that basically gives us permission to talk to each other. The client always has to sign off that, okay, I'm ready to talk. But there's no commitment there. I mean, we get a range of phone calls every day. Some people have just an idea that they want to just bounce off somebody. Some have taken it a little further. Some just say, I have this idea. I don't know if it'll work. What's my competition? How do I do this? How do I finance this? Not everybody needs financing, but most do. That's another whole arm. SBA encourages capital infusion. So that's a big part of the puzzle too, but it's not the only piece. But really online, give us a call. Maybe share my email with everybody at a later time. But there's really, it's easy to reach us. And there's no, like I said, no commitment, no fee. And everything we do is confidential. We don't share this information with people, with other companies. It is strictly between you and the consultant. And if we pull in other consultants, and that's another great thing about these centers, it's just amazing. It's really a national network. But for me, and most people rely on their state counterparts to help them. So if I have a tough, an interesting client that's a little complicated, I can always reach out to other centers and other consultants and who've been doing it a lot longer than I have. That it's like you have the answers at your fingertips, and it's all no fee.
Right. No, and I had a chance to go and visit the website, and I mean the services are incredible. Can we do a deep dive on the services? I know you've mentioned some of them recently, but maybe share with us some stories or some cases of people or businesses that you've been working with, and how you don't have to mention any names, but how you implement those services.
Well, they're all different. There is no cookie cutter. It's not black and white. Now, there are similarities, but types of industries, of course. But I mean, I've worked with folks recently on everything from how to start an organic farm to a salon opened by a minority woman. We also have, there's lots of bakeries. People have really gotten creative from last year. The pandemic sent everybody in a different direction, just about.
Right.
So
Yeah.
people are being very creative. But the services, I mean, we provide one-on-one consulting. Also, we encourage people to look at our workshops, because you may have a really good business sense, but you have no clue on marketing. Or I'm just throwing out examples, but we have a workshop on every topic you can possibly imagine. And if it's not there, we can create a workshop, and they're online. So it's really nice. People can just register and watch them at their own leisure, from their home, from work, wherever. But and we also do some really good things with research. We can do industry research on your behalf. If you're curious about what your competition is and you just have no clue, or you want to figure out what you should charge per hour, or what your price per piece is on a cupcake or whatever.
And sorry to interrupt, but are you doing that locally? Are you analyzing industries locally, or are you doing it in state level, nationally?
We can drill down as deep as we need to go, but how it starts usually is entrepreneurs need to know that there's a code for every industry. It's called the NAICS code, NAICS, North American Industry Code System. I think I got that right.
Yes.
So it's a 6-digit number. If I have to have that code to dig deeper and find out more for you. But I can just the basic research that we provide. I mean, we can just do a demographic study of your, we can do a 60-mile radius of your business. We can do a zip code. We can see what your competitors are, what they're charging, who they are. We can dig deeper as far as benchmarking. We can even pull a template, a business plan template based on that NAICS code. So, and we'll talk about business plans in a little bit, because that's, kind of like making a gumbo. There's so many varieties, but yet some basic ingredients. So we can really dig as deep as we want. And if it looks like, and that's part of the Small Business Development Center's whole program, we contract with an outside vendor, but it's no charge. I mean, you can pay a lot of money for research if you really want to dig. And then we always encourage, primary and secondary research. So if you're considering opening a bakery or making a certain type of food or whatever it is, test it out with your friends and neighbors in your town, or do some little random focus groups, or just poll people at the mall. I mean, there's ways to find out if your product or service makes sense from the outside looking in. So, but we can provide numbers, hard numbers. And again, if it looks like something that we have not dug deep enough on, we can talk it through. And that's the great thing about these centers. We're not just someone you call. We email you a template for a business plan and you're done, or a checklist. We want entrepreneurs to have some skin in the game and do a lot of the work themselves. We're not here to write your business plan for you. We're not here to do it for you. We will absolutely coach you, walk you through it. I have clients that don't have a clue about a business plan. So I do have a very easy template to send them to start. And then we just go from there. And it's several conversations, it's baby steps. Because I tell them, if you don't have a decent business plan, it's not good. Even if you're not looking for money, if you're sitting across from a banker, absolutely you have to have a solid business plan, because they're not wanting to give you the money unless they know what you're doing, your
Absolutely.
product, your market, how you're going to market, how you're going to make money, how you're going to pay them back. So absolutely. But I always tell people, a business plan, you need it so you understand all the ins and outs of your business and all the roadblocks you could possibly encounter. I mean, you can't encounter, know all of them, but if you have a really good, thorough understanding of what you're trying to accomplish, it's not just, hey, I think it'd be cool to make these kind of shoes. Well, I mean, yeah, you may think it's cool, but if no one else does, guess what? You're not going to sell any shoes. So, and then marketing is a whole other thing too. So.
Yeah, and I love how you mentioned this notion that it's important to test the product of the service as you go along. I was listening to one of the founders of Netflix say that there is no way to identify whether or not an idea is good or bad until you actually test it.
Right.
And so having that, it has a practical approach. You're not just preaching, you're just training somebody. You're making them do work and leading them as they progress.
I mean, entrepreneurs obviously have a different mindset than others, because they dream about things and they're committed and interested and they want to see progress and things work. But yeah, they have to be committed to really take the time. That's another thing. I think people think that, oh, I'm just going to start a business. It's a great idea. And when they realize they have to put some work into it and it's going to take months, maybe years, they kind of lose interest. So it's good to know that on the front end before you get too involved, because we shoot straight with them. We shoot straight, and we're like, you're not ready. I mean, you may not be ready. I think you need to give this some more thought. Again, that's the great thing about these centers, that it's personalized. You get to talk to a human that has resources to other resources that can help. So you've got a great, huge team, actually, of people that want. Our job is to do this and have people have success.
That's fantastic. So where can people find information about you and the center?
Really, if they just go to our website, www.louisianasbdc.org, spell out the word Louisiana, sbdc.org. The website is really, and I hesitate to always say, oh, go see our website. Like I'm trying to push people off to it, but it's so informative. And what we encourage people to do, the one-on-one consulting is absolutely there, but it goes better. It's more efficient if they do a little homework before we really talk too much. I mean, I'm going to ask a gazillion questions. That's what we do, is just to poke holes and just say, why are you doing this? Or it's an intake process, if you will. It's not black and white because it's just a conversation, but consultants really have to understand what it is you're trying to accomplish and what you're trying to do before we can really help you. So we encourage clients, entrepreneurs to look at the website, look at our services. And I'm not touching on all of them, but look at the website, louisianasbdc.org. The services are listed there. The success stories are very encouraging because you're going to hear and see things and read things that make you think, oh, well, I didn't think about that, or that's a great idea, or I should ask more questions about this, that, and the other. So the testimonials are great. The workshops, they're in chronological order. You can look at those, and then request a consultation is the easy where and it comes to me, you put in your city and it's going to be routed to me. So I get an alert that, hey, Raphael wants to ask a question. And so we know we keep track of everything that we talk about.
I mean, it is a fantastic resource.
Yes.
So for those of you who are watching us or listening, you definitely have to go check the website. I I promise I'm going to sign up for one of those trainings, and I just went through the list, and it's incredible the amount of information that's there. So I highly encourage you. As soon as you're done watching this video, just go to the website and check it out. Evelyn, before I let you go, just a couple more personal questions. I know you have an incredible career in marketing in the private sector, and so I think our community would benefit tremendously by me asking you, what do you think are uh, soft or hard skills that entrepreneurs or business owners should enhance or should work towards developing?
I think, the hard skills to me that are just absolutely essential is, and they're almost, I hate to say they're just basic, but you have to know how to type in a Word document and an Excel spreadsheet. You don't have to know how to do every single formula, but those are two hard skills that I rely on all the time. I mean, you can venture off and do more things with Publisher and Adobe, but I mean, that gets very complicated, but just the bare bones minimum, just know how to, if you know how to write, that's even better. But you don't have to be an author to do this. I mean, you can have someone help you. As far as soft skills, I'm a huge believer, and it has served me well, just for open two-way communication and just to be a good listener. In this job, I have to listen because people are telling me their stories, and I'm trying to help them, you know, further along their progress, their story. So listening, good two-way communication. And I'm a huge believer, and I'm not the only one, in having a healthy internal culture, understanding your culture. I mean, some of these small businesses, maybe one person, two people, three people, but the bigger you get, you have to really understand what you're about and your core values and what you stand for. And for the long haul, I worked for a bank that we just relied on referring to those core values and the internal culture of we're all each other's customer. And just thinking about innovation. Entrepreneurs, like I said, have a different mindset. So they're already thinking about innovation and just taking risks and things like that. But to understand and perpetuate what you want your company to be. I mean, because you want it to be for the long haul, obviously. Most people don't start out saying, "Oh, I'm gonna do this for a few years and call it quits." But I mean, I'm sure some do. But I would say that listening and communicating and that involves being on a good team and having teamwork. You have to listen to be on a team, not just talk.
Agreed, 100%. You can't go wrong understanding how Excel works, and it's just an amazing tool to just master.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree, communication both ways is the key to a successful partnership, a successful business, a successful marriage, a successful parenting. It's just incredible. And so, my final question: what are some resources, we can call them books or podcasts, or anything that you're using on a constant basis just to expand your mind, to grow? What are those resources, and if you mind sharing them, and so that
I don't have a lot of time for extracurricular reading, so I prefer quick things like the Wall Street Journal app. I'm a headline kind of gal. I like to just kind of see what's going on out there. But as far as reading, through the years, I have used many. I think to categorize it is just success stories or stories of businesses. If you look at Disney, it was not always a success, and there's so much that went on and still goes on behind the scenes for Disney. When I was at the bank, I helped create the internal culture program there, and we studied other companies to see what they did well, to see what they failed at. So you have to understand people's failures, because you're going to fail. Disney failed numerous times. I mean, Apple didn't start out great. You have to just look at and understand that it's not all perfect when you start a business. I mean, some people fail multiple times and just keep going. So those kind of success stories, any kind of story about entrepreneurs that made it, and hearing their real story of the ups and downs of that, because there are going to be ups and downs. That's just a fact.
Absolutely. And just let me do my own pitch as you say that. The purpose of this space is to invite entrepreneurs and business people to share those stories and to talk about failure and how they overcame these issues, and talk about the events that led up to the success. But with that, Evelyn, it's been a true joy having you here. I think you've provided an amazing set of information for our viewers. So I hope to check back with you sometime in the future to see what's going on with the SBDC. And if you ever need anything from our end, just don't hesitate to let us know.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity. I take any opportunity I can to get the word out about these awesome tools. And so I appreciate it. And I'd love to come back, and I'd love to hear success stories and failures myself, because it only helps me help our clients, figure it all out.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. And for all of you, just go to the website, go to the SBDC website and get plugged in. I promise you it's going to benefit you in many, many ways. Thank you very much. And I'll catch you in the next one.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.